Hi, my loves. All right, we are on day 7 of our journal and being self-aware. And so we are going to go ahead and jump into these questions. I thank you guys that went ahead and commented or went ahead and reached me directly to share your input and your feedback. It is great to be able to speak with you guys and to go more into depth with this. So it's just been beautiful. So, when was the last time you helped somebody? What did you do? So, a lot of times we sit around and we want to be helped, or we expect people to help us, but we've never turned around and helped somebody else or gave them that helping hand. So, this week, I want you guys to begin to think, or just today, how about that? Today, what is one thing that you can do for somebody else? Remember, it could be a compliment. It can be holding the door for somebody. It can be buying somebody else's coffee, right? Whatever that looks like, what can you do today to be helpful or uplifting to somebody else? And then the next one, make a list of people who have influenced you in your life. And how have they influenced you? How will someone closest to you describe you? So a couple of days ago we described ourselves. Yesterday we described how we want a stranger to describe us. But now, if you really sit back, how would somebody close to you describe you? And I know this is going to be difficult for some of you. I was actually able to do it about a year ago, and it blew my mind. Begin to ask people closest to you, maybe a friend, somebody in your family, and somebody at your work, right? Somebody that's always like they lived with you before, somebody that's very close to you, and somebody that's not, and ask them to describe you and ask them why. Ask them to be honest. And if you're not ready for honesty, don't do it because you're just going to be upset. And I'm not saying people are going to talk bad about you, but when you ask people to truly be honest, they're going to be honest with you. And like, a lot of times they give you so much beautiful feedback, but some of it you're like, wait, what? You think that? No, don't just take that, sit down and process it. Like, okay, especially if all three people tell you the same thing, that's something you got to work on. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, right? So, I dare you guys to ask somebody else, and I would ask multiple people, right? How they would describe you, and also ask them to be very honest and do not get upset by their response. Okay, the next one. Who means the world to you and why? Why do these people mean the world to you? And then I want you to go ahead and think of that one person that truly means so much to you, or even the person that may have influenced you. And I want you to write them a letter. So we were writing letters to ourselves. Now I want you to begin to be vulnerable and write letters to other people. When you're able to do that, the connection you get with those people is just amazing and it's beautiful. And if somebody's impacted your life, why don't you want to honor them? Why don't you want to tell them or even call them up and be like, you know what, I've been thinking, and I just know that you have been a big part of my life and I just love you and I'm so thankful for you. That is going to uplift them so much more and they're going to feel so good that you even appreciate them. Maybe they're going through a hard time or think that nobody loved them or nobody cared for them, but yet they've helped you so much. Why wouldn't you want to tell them? So I just think it is beautiful when we're able to share and to honor others. We do have 2 more days to go, but I'm going to go ahead and actually break this down. I'm going to do one and then one more day. So let's go ahead and get into it. So these are going to be more about your goals. Describe your ideal or future self. Describe your ideal or future self. Where do you see yourself? Who do you want to be in the future, right? And then okay, if you win a lottery today, where would you invest in or what would you spend your money in? So if you were able to hit the lottery today, what would you spend your money on? What would you do with that? What would that look like? Okay, the next one. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So what I would like to do is I like to do the overall picture. So where do I truly want to end up? And then what does my next 20 years look like? What does my next 10 years look like? What does my next 5 years look like? What does my next year look like? Because it's step by step, moment by moment. But if you're not writing and preparing for them, It's not going to come about. And even when you plan and prepare, you got to remember, this is not set in stone. Things would change, things would differ. But if you have that overall view of where you want to end up, you will end up there. But you got to start setting goals. So the big goals and then the minor goals to get there. And these are just practical steps, right? The next thing is, which dream of yours do you wish to come true? So we all have dreams, we all have desires. If you had to sit back and think, which one, like prioritize, which ones do I want? Because a lot of times we don't even know our dreams and we don't even know what we desire. Begin to identify those and then begin, because a lot of times we don't even know the things that we're chasing after. They were desires from a long time ago or from a broken place that we used to be, and they're no longer a desire, but because we're on autopilot or because we haven't caught up our mind, we are still doing these things. So it just brings so much awareness, but it also is going to show you, what are my dreams? What are my desires? And how can I make those come true? Okay, the next one. And some of them, you guys, it is vain imagination. They're not going to come true, okay? Some things that we dream of, they were fantasy, okay? But we need to be able to identify that, because if you sit there and you truly think that these things are going to come true and they're not, you're going to be that much devastated and broken because of the expectation behind it. And you don't want that disappointment to fall into despair. You don't want to fall into despair, you guys, but you got to be honest with yourself. Okay, the next one. Are you really happy where you are placed in life at this time? Are you really happy? You got to be honest. And a lot of us, yeah, we're so happy. You're okay in every area. Or some of us are like, oh, my life sucks. In every area? No. Begin to identify the areas that are going well for you right now, but begin to also identify the areas that are not working for you. So you're able to continue doing the things that are working for you while fixing the things that are not going too well, right? So you know where to invest your time. Remember, time is so important, you guys. Once time is done, it's over. You can't get it back. So begin to utilize your time very wisely and effectively. Okay. Make a list of priorities for this week. So for those ones that are close to me, you guys know I always have my to-do list, and then I have my daily list. So I actually have one right here. So this is my to-do list and my daily list. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I even got a little calendar, because it is so important to write down the things that you want to accomplish and get done. If you don't do this, then how are you reaching your goals? You can't even see your progress that you're making because you're not tracking it, you're not aware. Okay, and the last one for today, make a bucket list for yourself. So what bucket list do you have? And these are just things that you may want to accomplish, things you may want to do, and then you can begin to plan for those, right? So I know we went over a lot of questions today. I just didn't want all these questions to carry on, because I just wanted to go ahead and ensure I was able to complete it, so we're able to move on. As large as you know, wait, as a lot of you guys know, a lot of great and mighty things are coming. So I just want to go ahead and wrap this part up so we're able to move on to the next one. And for the ones that signed up for the group, I am so excited. We have you marked down, and we are actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 people already committed to this new journey. So we're very excited, and we just wrote it out. So the Lord have all the honor and glory, and we are just super excited about that. So I just hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful evening, and we will be back on here tomorrow for the last set of journal questions. Love you guys.